St. Views at 8 a.m.
Well, that's Lake Pontchartrain Basin Foundation making progress in its efforts to rebuild a local icon.
And joining us this morning is John Lopez with the Basin Foundation with more on the restoration for the lighthouse. Good morning.
Morning, Liz. We're making tremendous progress. The foundation work is completed. We expect the lighthouse structure to be completed by September. We're in the middle of our capital campaign. Our total budget is $1.3 million. We've raised about $900,000, so we're really well on our way.
And John, big event coming up. Some guys are actually swimming all the way across the lake for a good cause.
Terrific. Yeah, we have these professional swimmers that have volunteered to do a 23-mile swim across the lake, and basically celebrating the recovery of the lake and the cause of Lake Pontchartrain. That's going to be next week, next Wednesday, May 2nd. They'll be swimming starting early in the morning and arriving to the South Shore sometime that afternoon.
Tell us about as we watch them get into that water. That is a trek.
That's from last year's swim, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah. Can you imagine doing that?
No.
John, would you jump in there and do that swim?
Well, certainly I would not swim 23 miles. I do swim in the lake. I enjoy swimming in the lake, but it takes professional swimmers to do that kind of swim.
Our hats off to them. The lighthouse, tell us about the significance of it and why it's so important to restore it and how much it's going to take to do that.
Well, it's so symbolic of the lakefront. I think people, it's one of the crown jewels on our lakefront, and the new structure will be virtually identical to the old structure. Have the same look, the same red roof. It'll be elevated. Is the only real difference. But it'll be different in the sense that how it operates. It'll be a museum and education center. So it'll be even more than ever, a public resource for the community to learn about the lake, the coast, the environment, and the lighthouse, of course.
How much money are we looking at to really get this thing done?
The total budget is $1.3 million. We have raised about $900,000, which is virtually all private donations. So we're really pleased with the support we've gotten locally. We're not quite over the top, but we really have enjoyed a lot of support for this project.
John, we've been marking 2 years since the BP oil spill, and you were saying that after the spill there was some slight oil shoreline in Lake Pontchartrain, or in the Wrigley's we're talking about? And are you concerned at all about any long-term impacts at this point?
There was a slight amount of oil came into Lake Pontchartrain. It actually passed right by my house on the North Shore. We documented that. There was oiled shoreline on the North Shore from the BP oil spill. We're not seeing any, I would say, can't document any significant ecologic effect to Lake Pontchartrain. We are still very concerned about the long term because a lot of our fisheries, as we all know, they migrate from the Gulf into the lake like crab, redfish, trout. So there could have been an effect in the Gulf that may eventually be manifested in Lake Pontchartrain, and that takes long-term analysis and study to document.
With so many people that fish and swim there, what's the latest in terms of the last reports we have on the state of the lake?
The state of the lake is, the latest reports are good. The water quality, the bacterial counts are very low. As we've seen now for several years, the lake in 2006 was open to recreational swimming. So from a health standpoint, for swimming, it's very good. And the fish, we think, and the crabs are safe to eat. So really, it's tremendous. And what we're seeing is now kind of this renaissance. Since the levee work has been completed on the lakefront and the weather's turning, we're seeing a lot more people come out to the lakefront, and really it's tremendous to see.
Well, John, thanks very much for giving us the update this morning. Best of luck on the lighthouse.